Testing, testing, 1, 2. All right. Looks like we're rocking and rolling. If you're just joining us, no, this is not the South Jersey Group 1 sectional final. I wish it was. Uh, wish I would be here right now, but unfortunately, that's just not how things worked out. Joining you live from DWB, not headquarters, but I guess you could say co-headquarters here in the Pittman Grove. And we've got our fantasy baseball draft. Again, I'm Dan Wilkins. I think many people would know that by now. It's going to be a good one. Just going to be checking in back and forth. So we got some people on the way. Paul Myers, who has the first pick, he is watching MLB Network. Let's see if I can type here, yeah. So I have the 17th pick, which, I know sometimes in fantasy baseball leagues the owners give themselves a little bit of flack, but that's not the case. I spun the wheel on some random website, and Paul Myers, head soccer coach at Vineland, got the number 1 pick. Sorry, I am still finishing my Bob Evans mac and cheese after I had some French onion meatloaf for dinner. It's basically just your standard meatloaf, but with onions and Swiss cheese. Melted some Swiss cheese on top and flaked some salt and pepper, and it was actually pretty good. I usually wouldn't enjoy a meatloaf, like just a standard meatloaf with like your gravy and your tomato sauce or whatever, but because it was French onion meatloaf, which I've never had before, but my roommate said, "Oh, this is my French onion meatloaf. It tastes good." And I'm like, "Okay, I believe you. I'll take your word for it." And it looks like our draft is about to go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Paul Myers, head coach of the South Jersey Stars, and in the real world, head coach of the Vineland boys soccer team. He's on the board. Ohtani, Soto, and Judge, 1, 2, and 3. This is going to be interesting, I think, just because I was talking with Joe Bryson, the number 4 pick, and obviously everybody wants one of the 3 superstars to fall, but because some of us are a little more casual, I don't know if, I don't know if we're going to see, I legitimately don't know if we're going to see one of those 3 fall. Soto, Judge. Okay, no, so what was that? Yes, Ohtani went to the Stars. That's a bad place to cut off. Taiwan Walker's, it's Burner. And yes, Joe, I know it's delayed by 10 seconds. I can't do anything about that. I'm surprised it's not worse. You'd think it would be delayed by 30 seconds or something like that. We've had a couple streams where it's delayed by, um, like a minute and a half. I don't know why I can't think right, but yeah. So first overall pick, to the surprise of absolutely no one, it is Shohei Ohtani. I don't know. First of all, who is Taiwan Walker's burner? Is that I legitimately don't know who that is. That would be Hunter Thomas of Deptford? See here if I can pull up the draft order. Might be reversed on everybody's screen back at home. That's still a little too bright. I have to throw it all the way down. There we go. Hunter Thomas and then Liam Nessmeyer. Nessmeyer looks like he's here. All right, so it looks like they're going to auto pick. And then Liam Nessmeyer on the board. What did they do? Soto? Yeah. Best player available. Judge goes to Liam Nessmeyer, and that is exactly what he didn't want. He did not want Soto or he wanted Soto, Otani, or Judge to fall. He did not, and Joe takes Bobby Witt Jr. Who's Freddie Galvis? Who's the number 5 pick? Um, that would be Connor Strauss. Yes, that would be Connor Strauss. I really should have uh, reduced the. Really should have reduced the pick time from a minute 30 to a minute. By the way, yes, Michael Lopez, I see your messages. We tried getting to Woodbury Haddon Township. We did not hear back from the athletic department there. Sent a couple emails. I tried. I really wanted to be there. I would have done both games between, I think it was Wildwood and Haddon Township in the first one, and then Woodbury and Haddon Township. I mean, what a turnaround! What a turnaround for Haddon Township. 5-22 for the boys last year, and then they moved up, and having a first of all Jose Ramirez to Connor Strauss on a and Tarek Skubal jumps up from 8 to 6. Got Crystal Stefanko now. Going quickly here, and we do have 2 more that are probably going to auto draft. I really wish, again, like I don't know. Yeah, I can't. Okay, pause the draft to enable all of the league manager functions. Hold on. Going to pause draft to reduce auto draft time to 45 seconds to move the draft quicker. Yeah, because it looks like he's not here. So let's pause and then resume. All right. Yeah, Haddon Township and Woodbury, I think, just started. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it runs late because you cannot schedule back-to-back sectional championships between the girls and the boys in that tight of a window. Um, just because that's not that's not how anything works. You know, you need 20 to 30 minutes for layup lines. The lowest amount of time I've ever seen for a layup line at any basketball game is just 15 minutes. I've seen like maybe 13 or even 12, but that's not enough time to get warmed up. Let's see here. So Kyle Tucker went to the number 8 spot, which was Eric Berger. Auto draft brings Jordan Alvarez to Devin Giacchetto. And then it looks like Tyler Berger's not here. Eric Berger drafted already. I guess he must be he must not be with his brother Tyler. Nope, there he is. Chris Taylor, I don't know if he's here right now. He must have just taken him a little while. Yeah, this is a lot better because we have Chris Taylor next, and he actually picks Gunnar Henderson. So pretty much everybody's here. The next 3 teams after me aren't here, which is Connor Harvey, Cole Williams just got here, Keegan Cohan. Yeah, no, so the whole thing with Woodbury Haddon Township, I wanted to be there. I honestly was a little bit disappointed that I didn't get there, but nothing against Haddon Township. They have there are plenty of reasons why a athletic department would want an in-house Huddle stream of the sectional championship. Um, I'm pretty sure that Huddle still charges like $15 a month for those, so I'm not all that surprised. So Gunnar Henderson, number 11, we're gonna have an auto draft for Trevor Bauer's Swords, which would be Matt Steedle, Paul Skeens. That's not somebody that I. That's totally not somebody that I wanted. But just thinking out loud here with pick 14, which is Sean Cahoon. I mean, I'm just kind of thinking because, I might just shut up until my pick gets here because the guy that I want first guy that I wanted is gone, which is Skeens. The second guy that I want is obviously still on the board. So I want to see how this is going to go here. Freeman. Now it's David Cohen of Seneca. We'll see you next Friday, David, on the DWB selection show. David's got 20 seconds for Deep Fly by Castellanos. It's funny, I watched that game live. And here we go, on the clock. My auto pick would be Logan Gilbert, and that's funny because that's who I was going to take anyway. Best guy available. Logan Gilbert, welcome to the Camden River Sharks. This first round's actually going to go pretty quickly, only 8 minutes or so. I also thought about taking Zach Wheeler, David, if you're listening, but I kind of wanted to focus a little bit more around a younger crew and a younger ace of the staff, if you will. The different thing, I was talking with Joe Bryson about this, is that ranked in the 67th position, if I can find him, is Ellie De La Cruz, who's up there. Let's see if I can stop on it. There we go. Which is weird. He's below Ryan Walker. He's below Josh Naylor. Like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but we did change the points format a little bit to adjust, if you will. See if Keegan is here. He might be, for all I know, he might be at Haddon Township right now. He might be there. I'm not sure. I'm on the clock in 5. Okay, so a couple of guys have already turned on auto. Matt Steedle and Connor Harvey. Which, yeah, if you're a guy that wants players to get reached for, like Ellie De La Cruz at 67, auto draft brings Francisco Lindor to Keegan Cohan, and then Cole Williams. Keegan wore an Orioles shirt to practice today, and I almost cried. According to Ashton Krogman. That's funny. No, because, listen, I've talked to Keegan about it. I don't understand. Like, his parents are all Eagles fans, and he's an Orioles fan, which I respect. I mean, small market baseball, I am all for. I am all for, small market baseball, Orioles, Guardians, Pirates, Athletics, all of those teams that aren't in New York or LA or Chicago. That's all cool. As Anthony Santander kicks off round 2 with Cole Williams. Actually, it'll be Ketel Marte and Anthony Santander. This one's going quick, and oh my goodness, I'm on the clock. Oh boy. Auto pick would be Rafael Devers, putting me a little bit on edge here. I do want that it factor, that star power, if you get what I'm saying. Why can't I scroll down? Okay. I'm just thinking out loud. I got 15 seconds left. I just want to go with somebody that has a lot of skill. Don't know why I can't find him. Julio Rodriguez with 2 seconds on the board. I got it. I wanted Julio Rodriguez, but for some reason my mouse is really twitchy. It's not a mouse, it's a mouse pad. It's not, like when I scroll down just a little bit, it brings me to 130. Like, who's all the way at the bottom here? Hao-Yu Lee? Think he's a former Philly. Jose Fermin, Dietrich Enns, projected for negative 6 points. Like, you got Rafael Devers up here, 957, 884, some great stuff. And then you go all the way down, and there's 0 for Elahuris Montero. By the way, he rakes in MLB The Show. Love having him on my franchise as like a 65 overall C potential, but just skyrockets to 30 homers a year. A bit of a Coors Field merchant, but it's Elahuris Montero. I don't even know if I'm saying that name right. Backstop ballers. That's I think that's Connor Harvey. That's back there. Yeah, because that would be the pick after me. No, it's Cohen, Krogman. Backstop ballers would be Cahoon, who doesn't have auto draft on. He picked Harper. Yeah, so I'm taking up almost like the full 45 seconds. Got picks going quickly. Harper, Crochet, Devers. And then I'm not on the board for another 27 picks. So, yeah, I'll be sitting here a while. Next two don't seem like they're here either. Let's see if Chris Taylor's at one of the sectional finals. There's Timber Creek and Ocean City, and then there's Haddon Township and Woodbury, of course. Let's look up Telegraph. No, he didn't post from anywhere lately. Cole Reagans. Highest player available is Corbin Burns at 23. We're on pick 31. I mean, Corbin Burns is a good player. Had a great year with Baltimore last year. I was hoping he would stay in Baltimore, honestly, just because the Orioles are kind of like they're kind of like my unofficial second team now. But what, he had 2.92 ERA, all 32 starts. It was his 1 year in Baltimore, and this was 2 years removed from that league-leading 243 strikeout season, and 3 years removed from the Cy Young. So we got Giacchetto up. The auto draft took Corbin Burns. And then we got Giacchetto again. Okay, so he takes Semien. Yeah, I feel like a lot of these people are going to be taking best player available. I just think that's how it's always going to be in this kind of draft. Unless you have the biggest baseball savants that are pulling out their spreadsheets of stats, you aren't really going to have a lot of people that are reaching. You know, like I reached a little bit to get Rodriguez. I reached a little bit to get. I didn't reach at all actually to get Logan Gilbert because I got. Does it say, Colin? Does it say it's going to be 14 playoff? Because it shouldn't be. It should be 8. I'm trying to look for where that is. Teams in league, scoring type, head to head. Observe undroppable list. Trade deadline August 15th. Joe is on the board. Clase and Quan are gone, the two Cleveland teammates. Ellie De La Cruz. Okay, he goes to Joe. I had a feeling he was going to pick Ellie. And then Chris Sale. We're going fast. We are flying by. Seager, Sale, Acuna, they're all gone. Not surprised that Acuna is in that position. I think 2 years ago, before his ACL injury, he would have been a top 5 pick, but then it ended up changing after he tore his ACL. I mean, he's still a great ball player. Don't get me wrong. And he could break out again this season. And especially with that 40-40 season he had, I wouldn't think that he's going to be like an MVP candidate, but if the Braves are going to be as good as everybody thinks they are in the NL East, kind of in a dogfight with New York and Philly, really could change things up. I am 13 picks away. My apologies for the very loud and rude water bottle. Liam takes Austin Riley. I like that. A lot of Braves going though. Yeah, definitely a lot of Braves. Acuna, Sale went back to back. Churio, that's a good pick. I like the Jackson Churio pick from Joe Bryson there. Think he's going to be somebody that I think he's 22, if I'm right. Let me look at Baseball Reference here. Jackson Churio. Okay, he's 20. I actually underestimated him. He's 20. Um, what did he? He hit. First of all, he's already batting 400 in spring training. 275, 791 OPS for a rookie, and MVP votes as a rookie. That is not bad by any stretch of the imagination. I mean, obviously, I think he's going to be the next superstar. Will he actually stay in Milwaukee? I don't know. I feel like once his rookie deal's up, he's going to go to the big bucks. But hey, shout out to Alex Anthopoulos of Atlanta. Those team-friendly deals that he did with Acuna, it was like 10 years, 100 million. Altuve. I was waiting for George Kirby to go, and you got Pete Alonso, back-to-back Mets with Alonso and Diaz, who got up there. Churio, Hader, and Snell went to Chris Baker. I like that pick. And then Chris Taylor doesn't have auto draft on, so yeah. We do have a couple guys set for auto pick, and I'm already on the board in 4 picks, so I have to now start thinking in my head without revealing to everybody who I'm going to actually pick. Let's see, I've already picked. Who have I picked? I picked J Rod and Logan Gilbert. 2 Mariners. Makes me look like a Mariners fan. It's weird. It's not like letting me just scroll down with my arrow keys. Be really careful here. But Cahoon not picking is buying me some time. With the next 2 guys being pretty active, I might be on the board very soon. Um, okay, so he gets Pablo Lopez. That's not somebody who I was going to go for anyway. He's decent, not somebody I would be clamoring for. And then Shea Sean Barkley. I always forget who that is. I don't think that's Mike Harless. It's Teoscar Hernandez who goes. I'm gonna be on the clock in like 5 seconds. Wyatt Langford is good, but I don't know if I'd bet on him in the 3rd round. But by the time I pick again, I don't know. I definitely don't want Kyle Schwarber. I mean that in the nicest way possible. As much as I love Kyle Schwarber, I don't think with this point system. Oh, it's Ashton Krogman. Okay. I don't think with the point system, I don't think he's going to benefit myself and how I want this team to be built that well. Okay, he gets Will Smith. Do I do it? After a down year? Yeah, I'm going to do it. Trey Turner. Welcome to the Camden River Sharks. And then Ryan Helsley goes very quickly. That might have been, you know what? That was probably on auto draft then. Yeah, this is the weird thing about where I'm picking is that, like, uh, I'm already on the clock again in 5 picks, and then I don't pick again for another, 35 picks until the end of round 5. I have picked 64, and then I don't pick again until somewhere in the 80s or 90s in late round 5. All right, Williams on the clock. So Helsley and then Luis Castillo. So I have a shortstop, 1 outfielder, and then 1 starting pitcher. Bro, go to the Woodbury game. It's not that easy. I wish it was. For a sectional final, you need to, not a lot of paperwork, but just a lot of emails, a lot of, clamoring back and forth, and a lot of let's just say a lot of logistics involved. I wish I could be there right now. I absolutely, to the bottom of my heart, wish I could be there. Just unfortunately, not something that's working out. We did some sectional finals for baseball. I think we did the Group One. Yeah, we did Group One. It was Woodstown and Gloucester, and then we did the state semifinal. But once you get past like the third round of the playoffs, that's where it gets a little bit complicated with paper. Not I keep saying paperwork. There's no paperwork involved. It's convincing the people that you can be there. But Haddon Township has their huddle program. They do a good job with that, and they're being well serviced. All right, on the clock. Hello, Michael King. I do not want him. I'm sorry, Michael King. I do not want you. Boy. Bailey Ober might be a good kind of under the radar pick. If I go down a little bit further, I'm worried about Pasquantino. He's injury prone. I might just go highest points player available and get Josh Naylor. New opportunity in Arizona, lefty hitter in that Arizona ballpark. Might not be the best thing, but we're going to see how it goes. A lot of things can change up until the trade deadline on on August 15th. Feels like that is so long away, but then we'll be talking about it in the middle of our summer baseball season, and it'll be funny how time flies. So Yamamoto, first of all, Aaron Nola first pick in round 4. Yamamoto, then it was Sonny Gray. I got Josh Naylor. We had Felix Bautista go to David. Let's see where Ashton gets here. Brent Rooker, good pick there. I have a feeling he's going to break out again, which I don't know how much higher of a ceiling a guy like Brent Rooker has. I mean, he hit what, 35 homers last year for a very struggling A's team in a pitcher's park. Yeah, 39 homers, 112 RBIs, 927 OPS, which for a guy that was just like an on and off guy for Minnesota, and I forgot he played for the Royals too. Like, he was pretty much nothing for the first 3 years of his career. Negative WAR, turns it around into an all-star season for a pretty forgettable, maybe just bad A's team at 50 and 112, and then turns it around into a 10th place MVP. Didn't get an all-star, probably got snubbed, but I think he also had a light first half of the season last year. Yeah, so he had 927 OPS, 399 Roba, not bad at all, and also kept it down on the double plays with 5 and 11 stolen bases. Hey, that matters more than you think. You know, a guy that has a little bit of speed is better than a guy that has no speed at all. We do have some auto picks coming up. Connor Strauss has set his to auto. Chris Baker has set his to auto. Joe Ryan to Chris Taylor. Yeah, I'm still 26 picks away from my next selection. So we're gonna be sitting here for a while. Tyler Berger gets Arenado. I don't know. I mean, Arenado's one of those guys that he just doesn't seem set to have a good year. Like, he had all that trade drama where he denied a trade to the Astros, and he's just been generally going down and down and down very slowly. And it feels like any one of these years could be the year that he finally uh, has a really bad year. Wow, a lot of picks went by quickly. That's 5 of them. Yainer Diaz goes to Bishop Sycamore, a.k.a. Devin Giacchetto. Marcell Ozuna, Michael Harris, another couple of Braves going back-to-back along with Raisel Iglesias. Ryan Walker at the 4th round. I don't know what the point system is doing to put Ryan Walker that high. Because he had a low ERA last year, and he was definitely one of the best breakout relievers. I just don't know if it's something that's sustainable. I mean, the Giants, they got Willie Adames in the offseason, and they picked up a couple of pieces, but nothing crazy. I mean, if his individual stats can still be good, I just don't know if he's a fourth round pick. I mean, the fact that he was slotted one place above Ellie De La Cruz, that just seems a little bit odd. And then lefty Shota Imanaga goes to Joe Bryson. Liam Nessmeyer gets another Brave in Ozzie Albies, and then there you go, Wyatt Langford. I didn't think I was going to get him anyway. I kind of wanted Wyatt Langford, but I'm a little bit glad that he didn't go to me because I don't know what I would have done if he. I don't really have a backup plan if one of these young prospects ends up flatlining on me. Not literally, but just statistically. Did you see my message about the playoffs? Yes. Let's see. Yes, but can't find the setting. I still have 14 picks to go. All right, Bohm, Bryce Miller to Paul Myers, and then he gets Alec Bohm in the first round of round 5, or the first pick of round 5. Brendan Donovan, playoff bracket setup. Yeah, I don't see that. Not on the computer here. And then hold on, a whole bunch of teams just picked: Logan Webb, Jazz Chisholm, Nico Horner, Bailey Ober. Forgot I can switch to see draft help. No, that's not it. That is not it. Do have Crystal Stefanko on the board. Maybe it's if I go to this. Is it League Manager Tools? Yeah, I cannot find this. Maybe it's because maybe it's because the draft has already started. I don't know. This is all the way at the bottom. Roster tools, schedule and standing tools, edit matchup settings. Hold on here. I still have 8 picks to go. Yeah, League Manager. Here we go. So, edit schedule settings. Yeah, so it only has, here we go, playoff bracket setup. We'll switch it to 8. There we go. Okay, perfect. And I still have 6 picks to go. So what did I miss? What did I miss here? We have Albies, Langford. We saw Bryce Miller. Oh, that was round 4. Cody Bellinger. Yeah, I'm a little bit surprised he went that low. Maybe again, I don't think the point system is really favoring him there. I mean, Brendan Donovan and Bailey Ober over Cody Bellinger. I'm surprised he fell that far. Same with Logan Webb. I have a feeling he could very well return to his 2021 form this year. Freddie Peralta, though, pick number 90. Again, a lot of these guys are pretty much the same. Jazz Chisholm going a little bit higher. But again, this is a team that's probably going to slot a little bit lower players and hope that they bounce up. Same with, kind of my strategy. Don't go for extreme reaches, but go for players that the point system or the fantasy rankings might underrate a little bit, and then hope you find them under the radar, and then hope that the players that are not being reached for, like, for example, Salvador Perez, he's ranked 86, but he got picked 91st, or pick number 79, Ian Happ going pick number 88. You're just kind of hoping that the players that are picked higher are overrated this year, and then the players that are under will be underrated. I had no preparation. Roki Sasaki's gone, Munoz is gone, Gallen is gone, the Bishop Eustace grad. Ooh, I don't know. Relief pitchers might not be my friend with this, to be quite honest with you. Paredes had a really down year last year. I mean, he was just really, really bad. Maybe George Springer, maybe Mason Wynn. Oh, I don't know. We're going to go with Andres Jimenez, another former Guardian. Let's see, what do we have? 5 picks again. Keegan Cohan. So Paredes goes 1 pick later to Connor Harvey. And then we'll be ready for round 6. Pick number 100 is going to be next for Cole Williams. Duran goes to Keegan. Well, pick number 100 is a boring one. It's going to be an auto draft, unless unless Liam Nesmeyer bugs Cole Williams to get in here. Looks like Chris Taylor is online. Looks like he'll be picking there. Tanner Bibby, and then he gets Justin Steele. And then Keegan gets Jerks and Profar, and then look, I'm right on the clock again without doing any research. That's great. Keibert Ruiz might be somebody to watch out for this year. I just feel like Washington doesn't really have a lot of direction, and sometimes in those situations it can allow for players to be, kind of their own mojo there. Um, Rodriguez is hurt. He's going to start the season on the IL. How about Jack Flaherty? I have always been a big believer in Jack Flaherty, and I think that he's somebody that after he consciously chose not to go to the Dodgers. I think he's staying small market for a reason. I think that he is kind of honing his craft pretty well in the offseason. I think his velocity went up too. So if there's any way for Flaherty to improve this year, that'll be fun. I do want a couple lefties, which let's see here. Left-handed. Let's go starting pitchers here. We still have 31 picks to go. But we got all righties. Green, Gossman, Brown, Pathat, DeGrom. Honestly, I've not seen a lot of Spencer Schwellenbach. I mean, I know of him, but I am rusty on him personally, so I had to Google that he's a righty. Yeah, so highest lefties available will be Yusei Kikuchi, who's on the Angels and again had a down year last season with Houston. I mean, what did he have last year? He had 4.05 ERA. Okay, I guess that's not too bad. But I know he has been inconsistent, for lack of a better word. I would say probably the best consistent lefty is Carlos Rodon. Um, and also, you've got that Yankee factor, too. Let's see, who else went? Robert Suarez, Kirby Yates, a couple of relievers. Willie Adames goes to Colin Cahoon. Brandon Nimmo, Hunter Green, Seiya Suzuki goes to Chris Taylor. And then you got Tyler Berger on the clock. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of good starting pitchers left. There's only one in the top 100, but for starting pitchers, there's so many of them that you don't need somebody to be in the top 100 for somebody to be good. And somebody who is outside of the top 100 could easily skyrocket up there at the beginning of the season or at the end of the season. Like I had Jared Jones on my team for a while last year. I traded him like right before the deadline, but he had some great under the radar starts. Not that I don't think I'm going to pick him. I mean, I'm 25 picks out. What are the odds that, well, they just picked Gosman. You got 105, 110, 112, 115. Let's see, you got 10 starters before you get to Jared Jones. Then you got Ezekiel Tovar. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm still 24 picks away. So right now my mentality is who is going to be available. Like not I'm looking at Spencer Steer right now and I'm like that would be decent to have on my team, but first of all, again, a little bit injury prone, But also, I'm looking at him saying, yeah, he's not going to be available in 24 picks. Like, basically, these top 10 players aren't even going to be on the board because all of the auto picks are just going to scoop them up first. So even if everybody goes, assuming that nobody reaches before me, let's say everybody reaches and doesn't pick anybody in the top 10. Crystal picks Jake Cronenworth, Joe takes Bryson Stott or whatever. Even then, I have on my board right now one, two, three, four, five, six auto picks. Like they just watch that. Well, first of all, Ivan Herrera, nice pick there from Crystal Stefanko. Also underrated shortstop Ezekiel Tovar had a breakout year last year. But yeah, there you go. Spencer Steer is gone. Keibert Ruiz is gone. And again, even if Joe Bryson picks somebody outside of whoever's on my screen right now, the next pick is going to be another auto pick. So it's going to be Hunter Brown. And then Connor Harvey or Hunter Thomas is going to take Jung Ho Lee with the auto. And then Taiwan Walker is going to take, I keep saying Taiwan Walker, it's Hunter Thomas's team. Unless Paul Myers picks up any of these next two guys, like Hunter Brown goes to Joe, Jung Hoo Lee is gonna run to. Liam Nessmeyer is actually active, so I don't know. Actually, don't know if he's gonna be picking there. But like Jung Hoo Lee is gonna be gone, Jeff Hoffman's gonna be gone, not because they're actually gonna be picked up by the humans. They're gonna be taken in the auto draft, which is convenient for some, not convenient for others, if I say so myself. Let me check on that Haddon Township Woodbury game. I would like to see how that's going. 66-53 Ocean City over Timber Creek. All right, 30-23 Woodbury over Haddon Township in the second half. 1 point game at half. All right. I'm surprised it's as close as it is. Again, Haddon Township, huge turnaround this year. Still 13 picks out. What did I miss? A whole bunch of stuff, whole bunch of auto draft. Jung Hoo Lee, Jeff Hoffman, Schwellenbach again. I mean, he very well could be underrated. I have no idea. Again, like I said, I've only watched a little bit of that guy. And then Kikuchi, one of the lefties that I mentioned, Brandon Pavat, and Jacob DeGrom. Kevin Emmons on Twitter is there. I don't have a Huddle subscription. I don't have that kind of money. But Kevin Emmons is there. I would imagine some other reporters are there. I have no idea. Yeah, Kevin Emmons on Twitter is at um, Woodbury Haddon Township. But yeah, congrats to Ocean City. Again, like I said, I don't think it's any surprise. I would rather be there than be doing the fantasy baseball draft. And I'm not saying that as an insult. I'm saying that as it's a sectional championship and I would really want to be there, but it's not my decision. So let's see who else is on the board here. Christian Yelich, Christian Walker just got picked. I just almost gave myself a splinter on this wood desk. Carlos Rodon, Nick Pivetta, Phillies legend, C.J. Abrams. Funny you mentioned C.J. Abrams. I actually was there for his first game. I actually might have been his last game with the Padres because I was in San Diego like a day before Juan Soto got traded there in 2022. So I know C.J. Abrams played versus the Rockies in that game. I don't even think he started. I think he came in like the sixth inning. Padres won over Colorado, but I just remember very well C.J. Abrams being in there and like a rookie. I'm like, oh, he's going to be a good shortstop for the Padres someday. And then boom, I think we were at Disneyland, and I'm just keeping my eye on the trade deadline from that year. And Juan Soto has been traded to the San Diego Padres, and I'm like, oh my goodness. One of those guys that went back to Washington was C.J. Abrams. Now that Juan Soto is gone, I think that's going to change things up a little bit. So we got okay. So I'm on the board here in round 7. Caminero goes to David. Ashton takes Jake Berger. I've taken 2 starting pitchers at this point, and I don't really want to risk going another round without taking one. So I am going to lie to all of you and take Jared Jones. I think he had a couple starts with me of over 30 points last year. I mean, I'm not trying to rebuild the team that I had last year. I can't even remember half of the players that I had on my team last year, but one of them that I know was pretty good was Jared Jones. Xander Bogaerts goes to Connor Harvey. Keegan Cohan is on the clock to close out round 7. I say close out because Cole Williams is on auto draft. Still got 11 rounds to go. I think as more people go into auto draft mode, we're going to be kind of going a little bit faster. But I am very happy I made the decision to do 45-second MIA AFK drafts, if you will. First sectional championship for Ocean City since 1999. And 2:50 left in the third quarter. Woodbury leads 32-25. I'm not picking James Wood, man. I would love to, but I have a feeling that Francisco Alvarez is going to have a really good breakout season. I'm picking him. Is it a bit of a stretch? Yes, but I don't think he'll be available in the next 31 picks when I'm going to be there. The league that I was in last year, I think, had 8 teams. I think it was 8. So, yeah, it definitely had 8. So we had like a superstar team. Everybody had a superstar team. With this league having 20, like a full 20 people, I mean, even Joe Bryson, he called me. He's just like, why do you have 20 people in this league? And I said, listen, that's the most ESPN would let me do. If I had the magic wand and could give every single person that DM'd me, emailed me, texted me about joining this league, I would have at least 35 teams. But I had to do first come first serve. And we filled it up. I posted on Instagram saying, signups close at midnight tonight. And then within like 15 minutes, it was gone. I was very surprised. I did not think we would fill this league. Excuse me. I did not have any confidence we would fill this league because fantasy baseball is not that popular. But I guess because we're like a baseball-oriented channel, it changes things up a little bit. Chris Taylor's on the clock. So it was Bogarts, Scott, Correa, Wynn, Francis. Then I had Wood, Soler, Garcia, Cronenworth, Diaz, Gurriel. Is Schwarber still around? Again, not that I would really take him. He was taken, I don't know where, but he was ranked 81st. I'm not surprised he was taken. Grayson Rodriguez, yeah, just a reminder, he's starting the season on the injured list. Did Christian Walker get taken? He had to have been at this point. Yeah, he was. I'm just saying, I think I thought that a lot of people were going to be kind of wary of Christian Walker because he missed a month of last season with that oblique strain, and then he injured his oblique again in spring training. But then they said he was day to day and he's fine. So I have no idea. Matt Chapman, George Springer, that was somebody that was kind of on my board, and then Joe takes Jose Barrios. Mm. I see somebody that I want to set my sights on, but I'm not going to say his name because I have people that are watching me and listening to me. But yeah, by the way, shout out to my roommate for making a very nice dinner, French onion meatloaf. I know it doesn't sound that glamorous, but it was good. Your standard meatloaf, but with peppers, onions, and French onion. I'm sorry, not French onion, but Swiss cheese on top, just like you'd have cheese on top of a French onion, like crock of soup, like you would at the very famous Black Horse Diner, best diner in South Jersey. That's a lie. I would put Black Horse Diner at like my top five. I don't know if I'd put them at number one. I actually don't know what my number one would be for diners in South Jersey, but they're definitely up for consideration in the top five. Stephenson, Burleson, and Cassis. And then Paul Myers back on the clock here. Yeah, I got 15 picks. With all the auto picks, there's no way. There's no way I'm getting them. I just don't see it happening. Nessmeyer is next. Who did he get? Or who did anybody get? Butler, India. Yeah. Paul Myers picked Lawrence Butler. I think that he read my mind because that's who I really wanted. He just got a big extension yesterday. I really, really wanted Lawrence Butler, but Mike Trout, round 9. Imagine a world like 5 years ago, or 10 years ago, or maybe 8 years ago. Let's say 2017, 2018, where Mike Trout is coming off of his MVPs. And imagine somebody telling you that in the next 8 years, Mike Trout will be a ninth round draft pick in a fantasy league. That would be absurd. You'd be like, no, he's like going to be on his fifth MVP by then. He's going to be like 600 home runs and greatest player of all time. Such a shame. I mean, not against Trout, but I mean, South Jersey's best baseball player to ever come out of high school in this region, out of Millville. Just the injuries. Like, he could have been such an amazing story, and if only the Angels had actually helped him, because he only had one playoff series. I think he won one playoff game against the Royals in 2014, and then they got, laughed out of the building. Wilyer Abreu and then Jordan Westberg. Again, some young picks there. I'm liking the younger picks. I'm definitely liking that. But 3 starters on my end. Logan Gilbert, Jack Flaherty, and Jared Jones. We have 2 outfield spots. Still missing our utility. I'm on the board in 6 picks. We got a whole bunch of guys going. Pena, Moreno, Morel, Justin Martinez. Oh boy. Next best available starter is 162. Mitch Keller, Christopher Sanchez too. This is the good thing about the snake draft, though, is that like I have, what's it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 picks between my ninth round pick and my 10th round pick. That's what I like about the snake. Um, because now I'm thinking of like not only who am I going to take this round, but also who am I going to take next round, which is going to be in like 30 seconds because I have Cole Williams, he's probably going to auto draft. O'Neill Cruz is gone. That's somebody who was on my board, and right away I'm on the board. I'm going to take not going to take Mitch Keller. Going to take Christopher Sanchez, the lefty. I really wanted a lefty starter with 3 righties in my rotation. I wanted at least 1, maybe 2 lefties. Because if I'm going to take 6 starters, 1 reliever, because there's no limit on how many relievers you can take. I wanted to put 1 in, but I think it was too late because the draft was about to start. If I had a limit of that, where you had to put in 3 relievers and 4 starters, then we'd be in a little bit different. But I'm drafting maybe 5 starters, 2 relievers. That might be where I'm going, but already going to be on the clock here. Yeah, I talk for like 30 seconds, and then I'm already on the board. Outfielders, let's see what we got here. Blade might have a good season, especially if Sacramento gives him runners to work with, because he hits well with runners in scoring position. I'm thinking Cedric Mullins. I'm going to go with Cedric Mullins. He is one of my favorite outfielders in the game just because he's like 5'9", but yet he just cranks the ball out of the yard and just does a great job with stealing bases too. Again, if Baltimore actually built their team around their young superstars like Gunnar Henderson and Grayson Rodriguez and that Jordan Westberg combo in the infield. I mean, they have so many great young stars. Ryan Mountcastle, Cedric Mullins. But they couldn't keep Anthony Santander. Like, we're not even in the timeline where Anthony Santander, uh, or I should say rather Gunnar Henderson and Jordan Westberg, they're not even talking about extensions yet because you've still got 2 or 3 years until you have to do that. So you can't hang on to Anthony Santander for $50 million. Like, it just seems like a cheap move. Bo Bichette, Matt Strom, Chris Bassett. Chris Bassett, I think, is getting a little bit older, but he's probably still going to be good for another couple of years. Brian Wu, that's a very good underrated pick. Or that literally might have just been the auto draft. I'm praising this guy like he's some sort of savant, and it might have literally just been the auto draft. 188. Yeah, that was a couple of auto drafts back there. Ranger Suarez, he's off the board. So I still got 25 picks left, but I mean, where I'm at right now, if you're in a fantasy baseball league that has eight or 10 teams, you're always thinking of who you're going to pick next. At this point, I'm looking at who's on the board, thinking that none of the people I'm looking at are even going to be available by the time that I come up next, especially with the auto drafts. Because I have, let's see, there's one, two, three, four, because Liam's not here. Uh, Another three, that's seven. Seven auto picks. And we still have to get to the end of round 11. There's probably going to be maybe 10 total auto picks. And then in addition to that, you do have some teams that are here but might just take the best guy available at this point in the draft. So let's see what we got. Max Muncy and Tanner Houck, followed by Taj Bradley. Okay, ran out of time there. Like, Ronaldo Lopez is the best player available by ranking. Do I think he's the best player available, period? No. I mean, Trevor McGill, decent reliever, was decent on the Mets a couple of years ago, but that was when the Mets, if you were a bullpen pitcher who threw strikes and didn't give up 5 homers a game back then, you were good because the Mets bullpen was just that bad. Like with Reed Garrett, Drew Smith, not a lot of household names. Blade goes to Strauss. JT Romuto goes to Joe Bryson. Now Liam Nessmeyer on the board. Like, Mackenzie Gore might be a good pick if you want a second lefty in your rotation. But you also don't know if he's going to keep that San Diego rookie form. Like last year, let's see here, Mackenzie Gore. He's also had some injury problems of his own. What was he last year? 3.9? Career ERA over 4. Also was a little bit out of control. 181 strikeouts. I mean, it's not bad. It's pretty pedestrian numbers on a bad Washington team. Trevor McGill, Sean Manaea, Logan O'Hoppe, Spencer Strider in the 11th round. Lucas Erceg, Lars Nootbaar. I mean, now we're getting into the territory of players that might not even have been picked in an 8-team league or a 10-team league because we're in the second half of this draft. But we're at the point right now where I have 3 of the next 4 picks that are auto, 4 of the next 6, and then 5 of the next 8 are auto picks. And then it'll be in total 6 auto picks. And that's out of the next 13. Because you have Michael, Cahoon. Yeah, here we go. Already. There's 3 back to back to back. Goldschmidt, Eflin, and Nick Martinez. Shout out Nick Martinez. Really good comeback story after he went to Japan after having like this middle of the road starting career with Texas in the early 2010s. And then same thing that happened with Josh Lindblom. Went to Milwaukee after a very good career in Korea and a first stint in MLB that was really nothing special at all. Excuse me. 10 picks. Crystal Stefanko on the board. She takes Parker Meadows. Okay, and then there goes Mackenzie Gore. Oh, what happened there? Still good? Yep, we're still running. Been running for just under an hour. Sal Frelick on the board. Do I want him to be my third outfielder is the question. How many stolen bases did he have last year? 19. Mm-hmm. There goes Jake McCarthy, and then there goes the util Willie Castro. Mike Harless is on the board. That's not what I was going for. There we go. So we're getting down into the high 100s, low 200s actually, because you then have 200 being Ryan Pepio, Royce Lewis. Good pick there for Mike Harless. Yeah, I think Royce Lewis is one of those players that you just know they're going to be great coming out of the minor leagues. I just really like his style of play. Because I saw a video of him in like 2019 when he was in Fort Myers with that single A Twins team, and he was phenomenal. So we've got Vientos, Kerkering, and Verdugo. I'm actually going to go a little bit against my ethos here, and I'm going to take Pete Crow Armstrong of the Cubs. Feel like I've got a little spring training fever from that, from PCA, but I think he deserves it. Let's see here. Some more starters on the board. Ronel Blanco. Shane McClanahan. That's the thing though, is that like this draft and this ranking system can really make the rankings a little bit funky. Like Alex Verdugo going behind Orion Kerkering is like that's a little bit crazy. Joey Ortiz, that's a good underrated pick. Definitely could help the Brewers this year in what is expected to be another weak NL Central. I like that infield though that they have with Bryce Terang, um, and Joey Ortiz as well. I think that he'll be somebody that could break out this year. And then I forgot about Nathaniel Lowe again on a relatively weak Nationals team with Josh Bell gone. Josh Bell went back. No, Josh Bell did go back to the Nationals. So yeah, Lau and or I think it's Brandon Lau and Nathaniel Lowe. They're not related, and their last names are pronounced differently. Ooh, Colton Cowser going before Keegan. That's gotta hurt. I do have a Colton Cowser T-shirt in my drawer somewhere over here at the Pittman dorm, but yeah, that's funny. On the clock, I'm going starting pitcher again. I'm going to take my second lefty. I'm going to take Shane McClanahan. So I've got two lefties now going into the 12th round, going into that little break. Logan Gilbert. I like that top end of the rotation. I could work around that bottom end a little bit of the rotation, but I'm going to take two relievers from here on out. Not immediately. They might be late round picks just because I'm. When you're looking for relievers in a fantasy baseball draft, you're basically going to be looking for lightning in a bottle because like we didn't know Ryan Walker was going to be so good this year. We didn't know, I don't know, I'm looking at other relievers here. Um, Luke Weaver had a breakout season. Porter Hodge was really good last year. Um, AJ Puck came back from a really abysmal A's career, and now he's getting his second life with Arizona. So when you're drafting relievers, like a lot of it's just shooting darts at a board and seeing if it'll stick. Connor Norby, good pick there for the Marlins, from Ashton Krogman. So we got McClanahan, and then Brandon Woodruff goes to David Cohen. Yeah, I thought Woodruff was going to leave in free agency, but he ended up staying to kind of bolster that. Um, what's it called? Bolster the Milwaukee Brewers. So we've got Krogman who takes Thairo Estrada. Okay. Forgot he went to the Rockies this year. Just because the Rockies don't ever seem to do anything notable. I mean, I feel bad for their fans. They have an amazing stadium from what I've heard. I'll be going there in a couple of years. And then they've got a good fan base out there in Denver, but their team just doesn't do anything for them. I mean, they gave up Nolan Arenado for pennies on the dollar. And by pennies on the dollar, I literally mean that the Rockies paid $50 million of the contract to make it cheaper for the Cardinals to take him. So I just don't understand that kind of logic. Like, you made the World Series in 2007. I can't even remember the last time they made the playoffs. 2018? Because I know they played the Cubs in a wild card game. I think they won that game, but I mean they had Chris Bryant like 5 years too late because he peaked way too early and now is just injury prone. And again, you let go of Nolan Arenado. You let Charlie Blackmon's career go to waste. You let DJ LeMahieu's career mostly go to waste until he went to New York. But Charlie Blackmon was like the Damian Lillard of baseball. Maybe not on that same level, just because Charlie Blackmon is not a superstar. Damian Lillard is, but extremely loyal to a small market team. I don't even know where he's from, but he's nowhere near. I don't think he was anywhere near Colorado. Do have some more picks coming in though. Renel Blanco, Eugenio Suarez, T.J. Friedl, Jonah Heim, and A.J. Puck goes to Connor Strauss. Still got 20 picks left in round 12. At the end of round 12, I should say. Checking in on that Woodbury score again. 42-33, 439. People are still texting me, why aren't you at the Woodbury game? Why aren't you there? That's not how it works. Oh, wow, we've got more auto picks coming in. I think Nessmeyer finally switched to auto. He's got 5 of the next 6 coming up. $16 picks. This is where the draft does get a little bit monotonous. But it should go a little bit quicker now that we have more teams that are backing out and going in the auto. They've picked everybody that they want to. Now it'll be best player available. And the teams that are still here, like Chris Taylor, Devin Giacchetto, who actually started out on auto draft and then came in. Paul Myers is still here. He took Kerry Carpenter. Now he's looking for his next pick. And Cahoon is still here. We still have like half of the teams left, and everybody else is on auto. So now it's going to go really quickly. There you go. Matt Shaw. Interesting util pick there from the Cubs. Spencer Horwitz. Then Griffin Jacks. I want to see if I can do what I did last year. I can still take Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is still available in this draft. Is there any news for Kyler Murray? Which I think is interesting because like why would he still be on there? Is trying to think of who retired recently. Would Charlie Blackmon still be? Charlie Blackmon is still on here. Even though he retired, even though he retired, 0.1% of rosters have him on there. Miguel Cabrera recently retired. Did he retire in 23 or 24? I feel like he retired last year. Miguel Cabrera. Okay, he retired in 2023. Because when I saw him in Detroit, it was 2021. So, is Miguel Cabrera still here? No, he is not. Okay. But Charlie Blackmon is still here, guys, in case you want to draft a guy that is retired, or if you want to draft Kyler Murray in your joke round. 6 picks to go. Taylor's on the board. We got Shane Baz, Jason Adam, Colt Keith, good pick for Chris Baker, although that was also auto draft. Again, I'm praising these people that are picking literal auto drafts. Meanwhile, I actually have to start thinking. Okay. We got Harless up next. Luke Weaver might be a good pick. Yeah. Let's see here. What do we want? What do we want? We have everybody in our hitting except for an infielder, except for a third baseman rather, and a util. But then we have two pitchers left, and then all we have is our bench spots. So can I be mad at that? No. I really can't be mad at that. Eric Fetty, Nolan Shanwell, I forget how to say his name, Shanul, Carlos Santana, no, not related to the guitar player. Sandy Alcantara goes to Mike Harless. Cahoon. I'm not going to get Luke Weaver even if I wanted to, because either Cahoon's going to take him, Krogham's going to take him, or if I don't take him, or any of these guys take him, David Cohen's going to get him because of the auto draft. Yeah, that's one of the cons of the auto draft is that like the false hope of players falling to you is just mathematically eliminated. At least in the first three, the Soto, Otani, and Judge debacle, at least gave Joe Bryson some hope in the four slot. But see, Gorman, yeah. So Renjifo is going to be my next player, Robert, and then he gets Weaver. I am going to pick my first reliever, or I don't know. Actually, who's available? I am missing a third baseman. I'm going to go with Ryan McMahon. Think that again, maybe a little bit of a stretch, but I think that's something that I can work with. And I don't know what I'm going to do for the util. Maybe Dylan Moore. I feel like that's where everybody's just going to get lost is the util. I feel like everybody's going to be kind of out on a limb on that. How did Kyle Finnegan do last year? He didn't do as well as I thought he did. All right, Aroldis Chapman still in 5 picks. See what Kevin Emmons has to say. Oh, it's not done yet. 42-38. Woodbury up on Haddon Township. Not bad. Four picks to go. Somebody should pick Taiwan Walker. He's going to be great this year. Hey, they said things are hopeful for him. I hope they are. I don't I don't I'm not the kind of fan that wants to see players fail. If Taiwan Walker improving means that the team improves, then I'll be happy for him. But I remember Taiwan Walker, first of all, going to take Porter Hodge here, 1.8 ERA last year with the Cubs. The thing about Taiwan Walker is that he is the first player at home that I have ever booed at Citizens Bank Park. I have booed plenty of opposing players in my time there, but I have never booed a home player like I did Taiwan Walker because I was there when the Cubs beat up on us. I think it was like 12-4, and he came in relief. I think it was 2024 Phillies. Let's check it out while we have the time on this. It was late September, I think. I think it was around my mom's birthday. Yeah, it was 10-4. So you could see 6 runs in the second inning. Now, Tanner Banks started the game for some reason. And then look at this 1.2, 1 and 2/3 innings, 3 earned runs, 3 walks, a strikeout. And I remember that strikeout very well because the entire crowd basically cheered sarcastically when he struck the batter out. And then he gave up like 2 more runs. It was bad. But that was all a part of a 6-run second inning. This is all the second inning. Because I think Taiwan Walker did like okay in the third, but it was 6 in the second, and then 4 in the sixth, which was all Colby Allard. I mean, what kind of rotation is this? Tanner Banks, Taiwan Walker, Colby Allard, and Tyler Gilbert. That's the best we can come up with in a heavy September game against a Cubs team that wasn't eliminated from the playoffs yet. By the way, we have Clark Schmidt, Trevor Story off the board, Jesus Luzardo of the Phillies. He goes to Colin Cahoon. Mike Harless takes Anthony Volpe. Xavier Edwards, good underrated pick there. Again, might have been just best guy available. Zach Neto, Brian Bello, and then J.P. Crawford, another former Phillies legend. It's getting hot in here, but round 14 almost through. Let's see what Joe has. Taking best player available at this rate. Going to be Connor Wong. I'm liking the fact that a lot of teams are, or at least a few teams are staying in it until the end. Maybe they pick up some slack at the end, if you will. Excuse me. Have to take a sip of water. Excuse me. Went down the wrong pipe, and that was just a breath. But yeah, everybody tune in next Friday, March 14th, DWB Baseball Selection Show. Can tell you Holy Cross wearing their T-shirt today. They will be featured on that. I know my good friends over at Audubon, my alma mater, will be featured. And featured as in they'll be getting a game this year. That's all I can tell you. Jeff McNeil, Liam Hendricks, Connor Wong. Yeah, I'm liking these creative util picks here with Jose Caballero. I mean, I'm just looking at the infielders, and I'm not seeing like anything. You're mostly gonna find the utility guys if you go to like your middle infield slots on the draft board, like Mauricio Dubon, Dylan Moore, who's still here. No, I don't know. Christian Campbell, who I believe is a rookie this year. Yeah, he is a rookie for the Red Sox. Josh Bell, Justin Verlander, 15th round pick. Maybe the last time that Justin Verlander with a 15th round pick in any league was like 2006. So we've gone full circle now. Jose Miranda, Jason Dominguez, first pick of round 15 of 19. Nick Gonzalez, the next second baseman on the board. Brandon Lau would be a good pick if you want a lefty hitting second baseman. My hitting's all filled up. Still need one pitcher and then 3 bench spots. Yeah, this is going to be interesting. Because I don't know what I'm going to do. But this is the thing, is that I've had like 10 minutes to think at least, and now I'm on the clock again. Yeah, I'm going to take Dylan Moore. It's going to be a big reach, but I think that just as a utility guy, he's somebody that they're going to be hard to find. It's going to be very hard to find decent utility guys. And unless you want to try reaching for scraps at one in free agency, I just don't really see that being a worthy investment. I'm just looking at my reliever board here. There's Luis Ortiz, who, you know, former Philly again, and I'm on the clock. Mike Kopech would be my auto draft, but he is injured until how long? Mid-March. Feel like that might get pushed back. Definitely do not want Clay Holmes. Oh boy. Zidane Rafaela's gone. Do I take another hitter here? I don't know. Basically, all the players that are on the top of the board are injured. How did Tyler Holton do last year? Lefty reliever. Yeah, he's good. I'll take him. Tyler Holton, welcome to the River Sharks. I mean, my team's not looking that bad. It's not looking the best, but it certainly isn't awful by any means. I think that having this 20-team league is going to force people to get creative because they're not going to be dealing with all the superstars. I know I'm going to be facing Mike Harless week 1. Let's check in on that Woodbury game again while I'm at it, while I have my phone to my side. 48-33. 20 seconds left. Woodbury up by 5. Looks like I think they've got it. unless Haddon Township hits like 6 points in 20 seconds, which it's possible. And they'll probably clip this stream again. But let's see here. Yeah, it looks like they were up by 1 at half. Woodbury, that is. Got 24 picks to go in round 16. Yeah, just like that, whole bunch of auto drafts. Max Scherzer, Reese Olson. There goes Jacob Wilson. And then ending round 16, Max Kepler. He's been taking a lot of Phillies. He does take Sean Murphy, though. Still got 13 left. Again, some more autos here. Bo Naylor, back-to-back catchers. Key Brian Hayes. Not bad at all. But yeah, I'm in 13, and we have 3, 6, 7 of the next 13 are going to be autos. And then Eric Berger's not online. Everybody else is, though. So 8 of the next 13 are probably going to be presumed auto drafts. And we're actually probably going to go pretty quickly here. Oh, hopping on Eric Berger. He's been back and forth. He's on the clock. He is here. I apologize again. Taking too many sips of water. Jacob Young. Andrew Heaney, lefty from Pittsburgh. He was here. I think maybe he's just might be taking his time. He runs out of time and takes Jake Irvin. I almost said former Phillies legend, but that's Cole Irvin I'm thinking of. Mountcastle. Yeah, like I said, I'm still 6 picks away, but I have to start thinking now of who I'm going to take. Again, I'm just picking my next 3 bench guys. So I don't have to think that hard because I might end up trading some of these guys. But I can't look at anybody up here because I know that they're going to be auto-drafted. Like Brooks Lee. Thought about him, wasn't going to have a chance. Like, I have an idea in mind, but I don't know if I'm actually going to take him. I'm going to check in on Woodbury again. Still nothing, huh? Keep refreshing this page. And then we get Krogman, and then Auto, and then me. Unless Keegan Cohan shows up again, we might just run straight Auto until me. Gonna check in on Evan Carter. I forgot how bad of a year he had last year. About Kyle Harrison. I had him for a while on my team last year. Kind of underwhelmed. Kind of underwhelmed by the selection I have right now. Garrett Mitchell. Yeah, let's go with Garrett Mitchell. He'll be our outfield bench. Because you can draft pitchers or batters in your bench spots, and then with 19 picks, 16 active, this should mean that we'll have a handful of pitchers at the bench. Might pick 2 hitters, 1 pitcher. I don't know. But we're getting nearly into the end of it. here tonight. This feels weird to be constantly refreshing a page because usually I'm the one. Woodbury did win. There you go. First of all, I'm just checking on my board here. Yeah, so we got autos all the way. Here we go. Now I'm on the clock. Who picked before me? Okay, so they left him open. Gonna take a backup catcher because you really should, in my opinion. About Danny Jansen. I haven't heard much from him. No. Hunter Goodman. No. This isn't really going to be anything appealing, is it? This is just going to be a whole bunch of rookies. Fermin, good enough. Low OPS, but I'll take him. And pretty much everybody's going to be auto here. Wow, okay. So this is going to go by fast, huh? Yeah, Kevin Emmons hasn't posted in like 6 minutes, so I assume he's getting together a winning video, if you will. Yeah, still 31 picks. $27 picks. So the only guys that are left are, looks like Tyler Berger, Chris Taylor, and then it's Paul Myers. And I don't know if Eric Berger is going to show up here, but we've got, again, 5 autos. Joe doesn't seem to be coming back. $49.45. There you go. So they won it in 2022. Now they win it again. That'll be very fun to see how that goes. Again, 5 seed. Went all the way. Good for them. Very, very good for them. Very happy about that. Would have been happy if Haddon Township won either way because I'm, again, neutral by every sense of the imagination. But obviously, you know, Woodbury feel-good story there. They would have lost. Imagine a world where Glassboro wins that game, where DeRogeris doesn't have a timeout and they win, what was it, 56-54? I mean, that's nuts. That is a crazy world to think about, that Devin Williams doesn't hit that shot. They're not sectional champions. They don't even make it to the next round. I'm just going to look at something real quick. So let's say South Jersey Group 1. I'm gonna pull that up real quick because I feel like it. Now that score is in, um, what happens if Woodbury doesn't make that half court shot? First of all, 17 picks away. I think Pittman goes all the way. If you say everything stays the same, but then Glassboro plays Audubon, Audubon most likely beats Glassboro. Then it's Pittman Audubon. I think that game could be like an overtime game. It could have been a lot closer. I mean, it's a 10-point game, still would have been closer. But 60-50. I said it on Wednesday or whenever the Woodbury game was, the semifinal that they won. I said before, if Woodbury does not beat Pittman, nobody beats Pittman. Pittman would have beaten Haddon Township easily, but because they didn't, because Woodbury stopped them, then they could win. Like, that was the only thing stopping Pittman. They weren't going to lose to Wildwood. They were never going to lose to Burlington City. And if Audubon's in that situation, probably 9 out of 10 times Pittman's going to win that game too. And then also you say, well, what happens if Paulsboro wins on their if Audubon doesn't hit their 3-point buzzer beater or whatever? Then in that case, guess what? You've got what's it called? You've got 12 versus 13. I think Paulsboro wins that game in this situation. Then Pittman meets Paulsboro, even easier route to the finals. So I have one pick left, and it looks like then it's going to be 3 auto picks to end the draft. We're going to have Cahoon and then Krogman. Looks like we're the only ones that are left. And then we'll call it a night here on DWB, and then we'll get ready for Bergen and RCSJ tomorrow. So almost out of here. Just taking a picture of something real quick. Matt Wallner. I haven't taken a look at anybody on my team because I've just been kind of spaced out. I'm on the clock. Miguel Amaya will be my next, but I already have 2 catchers. Let's take one starter as a 6th man, just in case one of these guys go down. Jose Quintana just signed with Milwaukee. Might not be bad there. Cody Bradford. I'm going to take Jose Quintana. Why not? 3 lefties, 3 righties. Roster's full. And there you go. Draft is complete. And how about this team, the Camden River Sharks? Got some good guys here. And obviously still going to have some bench options. But Francisco Alvarez, Josh Naylor, Andres Jimenez, Ryan McMahon, Trey Turner, 3 outfielders, Julio Rodriguez, Cedric Mullins, and PCA, which is going to be playing on opening night. Dylan Moore is my util. And then Logan Gilbert, Jack Flaherty, Jared Jones, Chris Sanchez, 3 lefties up top, and then 3 lefties, 1 on the bench, Jose Quintana, Christopher Sanchez, and then our 2 relievers, Porter Hodge and Tyler Holton. That'll be all for us tonight. We'll be back on the air, I believe, on Wednesday. We'll be on the RC Roadrunners Network on Saturday. So have a good one, folks, and congratulations to Woodbury on winning that championship.